All right. So I did say this last time, but last time what I did was I said what quantitative and qualitative data is. And if you remember, qualitative data, that's the kind of data you really cannot do arithmetic calculations with directly. You know, you might see, for instance, letter scores from an exam, like an A, a B, C, or your favorite color, let's say, right? Blue, purple, orange, green, yellow, right? Those you really can't do calculations with directly. I mean, what's the average of yellow and green? That doesn't make sense. And then there's quantitative data. That's the kind of data you can do calculations with. You know, that's like numerical scores on an exam, like out of 100, a 98, or 85, or 43, 76, you know, those kinds of things. You can do calculations there, okay, with quantitative data. Now, it's good to be able to display data, visually, that is. One way is using what's called a frequency table. Okay, a frequency table. Basically, I think I might have even covered this last time. A frequency table, right? That's a table that has two columns in it, okay? One of the columns, you have the values of the variable. This is, this is for qualitative data. I mean, I know it's on the slide, but I don't think I mentioned it. Okay? That's one column. The other column is the frequency, okay? The corresponding frequency for each value. That's the other column. Okay, that's the other column. Now, and sometimes what you will see today as well, you'll see what they call a relative frequency column. And that's where you take the frequency and you divide by the total frequency. That is the sum of all the frequencies. And usually with these kinds of, with relative frequencies, they'll be expressed as percentages or fractions and decimals. In fact, to help you understand this, let's dive right in. So let's say a teacher, again, I might have done this last time, but let's say a teacher, for instance, do a survey, gives out a survey, okay, through, different classes in the school that she works at. And she's asking 136 students what their favorite color is. And once she gets the results, these are the results she gets back. As you can see here, right, we have a frequency table. Of the 136 students, 25 of them said blue. 40 of them said orange. 21 said green, and so on. So this is a frequency table. These are the results, and you can see it is a way of visually showing you the results. And as you would expect, if you were to add up these results, you would end up with 136. It's kind of like, I guess, what you expect, because 136 students responded. So that's with the frequency table. With relative frequency, again, you would take each one and divide by the total number of frequencies. So for blue, for instance, you could have 25 over 136, right? If you do that calculator, you get 0.1838. And as a percentage, that's 18.38%. And if you did orange, you would have 40 over 136, which is this, and so on and so forth. So that's what you would end up with. And you keep on doing this for each of the different colors, that kind of stuff. Okay, so it's just another way to display data. When we said present data visually, this may not be what you expected, right? in a table, you might expect it like a graph or something, or a chart or something maybe. Well, we can do graphs and charts, in fact. Namely, what we can do is we can display, for now we're focusing on qualitative data. We can use, for instance, a bar graph as a way of displaying data, qualitative data, that is. Now, I might have even done this last time, but let me say what it is again. Basically here, right, you have a vertical axis, a horizontal axis, kind of like in the XY, kind of like if you have in other math classes, the XY plane. The vertical axis would be like your Y axis. That's going to be where the frequencies are. The horizontal axis, that's where the qualitative data values are. So for instance, with the colors, right, you would have blue, orange, green on the horizontal axis. That's what you would have. And to actually display the frequency of each, they would use a vertical bar. The height of the bar equals the frequency. Okay, so that may not make sense, but hopefully now it does. And we're going to bounce back and forth a few times between Google Sheets and this, because I think it's like good for you guys to see how to make these kinds of graphs using Google Sheets. I mean, that's just what I think. So, right? But again, you can make this kind of graph through Google Sheets, and you can see how the horizontal axis, you have the different colors, qualitative data values, right? The frequencies are on the vertical axis, as you can see. Okay? On the vertical axis. That's what happens here. All right, that's good. So now, yeah. Okay, so now let's actually go to Google Sheets. I did actually put in, a way to actually do it. I mean, there are videos, of course, on YouTube that might show better than what I'm going to show you. But I still put like a procedure here. But I'm going to actually go through the procedure visually. I mean, if we were in class on campus, I probably would have this class in a computer lab and do this with you guys. Okay. All right, but let me now actually go to Google Sheets. If you actually get to Google Sheets, you can search for it in Google. Okay, let me just get to Google Sheets now. I mean, you do actually, if you search for it, might be a web page you come across. You just want to click on Personal. And then for this, you might have a Google account. I mean, if you don't, it's free. It's easy to do. You could do blank. You click on blank. That's what I just clicked on. I was going to say, so this is Google Sheets. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to present that frequency table. What I'm going to do is make a bar graph here. So I'm going to type that table in, okay? Okay, so we have color. And let me see, can you see? Okay, good. Can everyone see this? That's good. Then I have frequency. Okay. So typing it in, okay? So we have color. So we have blue. Then we have orange. Then we have green. We have white. Then we have black. Then we have purple. Now what we're going to do is type in the frequency. So we have 25, 40, 21, 15, 18, and 17. So again, this is through Google Sheets. Is what I'm doing. You could actually do this through Excel if you wanted to. I just don't know what computers you guys have, and if you guys have Excel. I do know that Google Sheets is something free you can use online. I mean, you might have to have a Google account, but that's free to make. So I'm trying to keep everything as free as possible. So I know time. So anyway, we have the data typed in. Okay. So now what we can do to actually make the chart is this. We're going to highlight the data we want. Okay? You go to Insert, as I'm doing. I clicked on Insert. I go to Chart. And then you'll see a big menu thing over here. Here it is. This is a pie chart, but we're not there yet. So for chart type, okay, what we do is we click. Then we're going to click here. Google Sheets calls this a column chart. I don't know why, but that's what Google does. All right. Okay, so we're almost there. I mean, this is really good. I mean, this is, I guess our answer, so to say. What I'm going to do is this, though. I'm going to click on Customize, then go to where it says Grid Lines. Okay, then I'm going to scroll down to where it says Minor Grid Lines. The major ones are the numbers by these frequencies, like 40, 30, 20. The minor ones show in between, as you can see. So that's what we have here. We have major and minor, okay? So that's our bar graph. I mean, hopefully that makes sense. I did also put screenshots. If you were to look at the notes that you have, I did actually put in the screenshots as well. Figured, so you could try this out on your own. It'd be good to do that. Okay, so that's fun. There's a bunch of screenshots I put in. All right, let me go back to the, what do you call it? Well, let me stop the recording.